Can I ask you a few questions, please, Jessie?
Yes, sure.
Thanks. OK. How often do you clean your room?
Well, I sometimes clean it.
That's fine. Sometimes. OK. Now, how often do you go to the park?
Oh, I often go there with my friends. We like the park.
Good. Right. How often do you eat chocolate, Jessie?
I always eat chocolate. I have a bar every day.
Nice. How often do you speak English?
Well, I'm speaking it now, but, well, not often. I sometimes speak English. Yes, sometimes.
OK. Next question. How often do you have a shower?
A shower? Oh, I always have a shower in the morning.
OK, great. Last question. How often do you watch sport on TV?
Oh, never. I never watch sport on TV. No thanks.
Do you always brush your teeth? Do you? Do you?
Yes, I always brush my teeth. Of course I do.
Do you ever bite your nails? Do you? Do you?
Well, I sometimes bite my nails. I sometimes do that.
Are you ever late for school? Are you? Are you?
No, I'm never late for school. Of course I'm not.
Do you always make your bed? Do you? Do you?
Yes, I always make my bed. Well, I usually make my bed. Well, I often make my bed. But sometimes I forget.
Do you always brush your teeth? Do you? Do you?
Yes, I always brush my teeth. Of course I do.
Do you ever bite your nails? Do you? Do you?
Well, I sometimes bite my nails. I sometimes do that.
Are you ever late for school? Are you? Are you?
No, I'm never late for school. Of course I'm not.
Do you always make your bed? Do you? Do you?
Yes, I always make my bed. Well, I usually make my bed. Well, I often make my bed. But sometimes I forget.
Do you ever go to the cinema on your own, Julia?
Me? No, I don't do that at all. Conversation 1.
How often do you travel by train, Henry?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe once or twice a year? Not very often.
Conversation 2. Do you ever listen to music in bed, Tim?
Yes, I do that all the time. Every night before I go to sleep.
Conversation 3.
Do you go running every day, Vicky?
Not every day, no. But most days, yeah. I go a lot.
Conversation 4.
Isabel, do you ever write a letter to someone, or do you only write emails?
It's not something that I do a lot, but yeah, from time to time I write a letter.
Conversation 5.
James, how often do you watch the news on TV?
Quite a lot, really. 4 or 5 times a week, maybe more.
Yeah, that is quite a lot. I hardly ever do.
Conversation 1. How often do you watch a film on TV?
Not often. About 2 or 3 times a year. I prefer going to the cinema.
How about you, Ed?
Every day. I love films, and there's always something to watch on the film channel. And you, Daisy?
Sometimes, but not very often. I usually watch other things on TV, not films. Conversation 2.
Have you ever fallen asleep on a bus or a train?
Yes, I've often done that. Fortunately, I always wake up before I have to get off. Have you?
No, I've never done that. What about you, Frank?
Yes, I've occasionally done it, but only on a train. I've never fallen asleep on a bus.
Conversation 3.
Do you always have breakfast, Martin?
No, not always, but I usually do.
Do you, Carrie?
Yes, I do. Always. I get very hungry in the morning. And you?
No, I hardly ever have breakfast. I just don't feel like eating in the morning.